All right, so today we're diving into something pretty fascinating. This essay by Jörg-Owe.
Okay.
It's all about how artificial intelligence, AI, is being used to create assistive technologies for people who are visually impaired.
Interesting.
Yeah, and what we really want to get into is how AI is kind of like revolutionizing support.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just replacing old methods, but offering something completely new.
Right. Like for the longest time, when you thought about helping people with visual impairments, it was all about like magnifiers, Braille, pretty basic stuff. But what AI brings to the table is this possibility of personalized and adaptive support that those older technologies just couldn't do.
Okay, so that's a big shift. Jörg-Owe actually talks about, how we got here. So, like, we start with those simple aids, right?
Yeah.
But then towards the end of the 20th century, we see machine learning and data analytics coming in. So how did that change what was possible?
Well, it's really cool. Like, machine learning basically allowed assistive technology to go from being like a fixed tool to more like, a learning partner.
Okay.
So it wasn't just like, here's the solution, use it, It started to like analyze how a person was using the technology, like what objects they were asking about a lot, and then it used that information to give them better, more personalized help over time.
So it gets smarter the more you use it.
Exactly. Schnepp mentioned some early examples like wearable devices that would give audio or haptic feedback, so like vibrations,
Interesting.
to help people navigate. Like imagine a device that would gently buzz to let you know there's an obstacle in your path.
That's so cool. And then, of course, we have the whole digital revolution with smartphones and apps.
Right.
Like, that must really accelerated things, didn't it?
Oh, totally. It's like suddenly we have these mini supercomputers in our pocket. And Schnepp really emphasizes how the smartphone becomes this platform for really complex AI stuff. Things like, real-time transcription, turning spoken words into text instantly.
Right.
And even sign language interpretation. These weren't just simple features. They were intelligent systems that could actually understand and respond to the nuances of human communication.
Wow.
It was like taking a basic phone and turning it into this powerful, personalized AI companion that could really understand what a person needed.
Yeah, it is a huge jump.
Yeah.
It feels like we're in a really exciting time right now. Like there's so much focus on how AI can help people with visual impairment specifically.
Absolutely, yeah. Schnepp points out that there's a ton of research and development happening in this area. Like people are really working hard to use AI to create assistive technologies that are not only effective, but also really easy to use.
That makes sense. So let's talk about some specific examples. Like what kind of AI-powered assistive technologies are we actually seeing emerge? Schnepp breaks them down in some really helpful ways in his essay. Let's start with image and object recognition.
Okay.
How does AI actually help with that?
So this is where AI can basically give someone a new way to sense the world around them, kind of like giving sight through sound.
Oh, wow.
AI algorithms analyze visual information that's captured by a device, like a camera on a pair of glasses. Think of these algorithms like the AI's eyes, letting it process images and figure out what it's seeing.
Okay.
And then the AI gives an audio description of what it's seeing. Schnepp uses the example of Envision glasses. These glasses can read text out loud, identify objects, like tell you if it's a coffee cup or a lamp,
right,
and even give you information about your surroundings. It's like having the visual world translated into sound, right there in your ear.
That's incredible. So it's kind of like giving a voice to the things that you can't see.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so then there's voice recognition and text to speech.
Yeah.
And, we use those technologies every day, right?
Sure.
But how are they especially helpful for people with visual impairments?
It's all about hands-free communication and getting information easily, which is super important for independence.
Yeah.
Think about voice assistants like Siri or Alexa.
Yeah.
For someone who can't see well, being able to control their devices, set reminders, or find information just by speaking is huge.
Absolutely.
Schnepp also talks about advanced screen readers like NVDA and J-Arrays WS. These are really important for navigating digital interfaces and accessing online content. They basically make the whole digital world accessible through sound.
Okay, that makes sense. And it's not just about individual devices, right?
No.
Schnepp mentions this concept of smart environments.
Yes.
Powered by AI. What does that actually look like in real life?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. Like AI is being combined with the Internet of Things, all those connected devices and sensors
Right.
to create spaces that really understand and respond to the needs of visually impaired people. Schnepat gives examples like smart home devices, lights, appliances, security systems that you can control with your voice.
Okay.
So imagine being able to adjust your lighting or lock your doors without having to see the controls.
Right.
And then there are navigation apps like Blind Square that use AI to give incredibly detailed audio directions both inside and outside.
Wow.
It's like having a personalized guide right there in your pocket, helping you get around with more confidence and independence.
So beyond software and smart homes, Schneemet mentioned some really cool devices that are still being developed, like smart canes. What's going on there?
Right. So there's a lot of research happening with these canes.
Yeah.
They're using things like laser and vision sensing to give you way more information than a regular cane. Like not just detecting obstacles, but also learning how fast you like to walk and maybe even giving you alerts based on the routes you usually take.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And the key here is how AI personalizes everything, adapting to your individual needs, which means you can move around with a lot more independence.
So it's clear AI is bringing a lot of benefits to the table.
Yeah.
Schneemet points out enhanced independence as a major one.
Right.
How exactly does AI help with that?
Well, by automating a lot of those everyday tasks, through voice-activated devices and virtual assistants, AI basically lets people manage their lives in a more independent way.
Okay.
Managing their schedules, getting information they need, even controlling their home environment. It's about being able to do all those things without constantly needing someone else's help.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just about doing things on your own.
Right.
It's also about having access to more tools and information, which is where improved accessibility comes in.
Exactly. And AI is making a big difference there. Like Schneepat talks about AI that can interpret sign language in real time or give you instant speech to text during conversations and even create those detailed audio descriptions for visual content like videos or pictures. And then you've got machine learning algorithms that can learn your preferences and adapt those tools to your specific needs, making them even more useful.
So it's about getting a truly personalized experience, which seems like a major advantage of AI in this field.
Totally. It's AI's ability to analyze data and learn from how you interact with it. Schneepat uses examples like personalized recommendations, maybe suggesting a different route based on what you've liked in the past, or adaptive interfaces that respond to the way you're using the technology. It's all about making the experience more intuitive and effective for each individual.
That's really cool. Schneepat also touches on future innovations.
Yeah.
What exciting developments can we look forward to in the future?
Well, we can definitely expect even more natural and seamless interactions, thanks to advances in natural language processing. So we'll be able to talk to AI more like we talk to each other. And there's a lot of exploration happening with augmented and virtual reality, trying to create richer sensory experiences for people who are visually impaired. And then there's this big trend of integrating accessibility features right into all kinds of technology platforms. So it's not just an afterthought, It's built in from the beginning.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Schneepat goes even deeper into future directions, especially focusing on prototype development and using computer vision algorithms.
Right.
What are the key things researchers are looking into there?
Well, the big focus is moving beyond just theory, They're actually building and testing AI-powered assistive technologies out in the real world to see how they work.
Makes sense.
And a really important part of that is understanding how these technologies change the relationship between visually impaired users and the people who guide them. The goal is to make everyone more independent, but also better at working together when they need to. Schneepat also mentions adapting those computer vision algorithms, remember, the AI's eyes, for use in sighted guiding, like focusing on understanding body language and how people interact with objects, so the AI can be more aware of the situation.
That idea of improving both independence and the ability to work together in sighted guiding, that's a really interesting point.
It's about finding that balance.
Yeah.
It's not about completely replacing human connection. It's more about AI systems that can help people coordinate better and give them more options for interacting with the world.
Right.
So you can be more independent, but still seamlessly collaborate with a sighted guide when you need to.
So we're still going to need those core technologies like voice and Braille displays. And the ability to recognize objects and people is going to keep getting more important. Right?
Absolutely. Schneepat really emphasizes that.
Yeah.
These tools are still the foundation. And with machine learning and the Internet of Things, they're just going to keep getting better and better based on what people actually need and the feedback they give.
So the technology is going to evolve alongside the people who are using it.
Exactly, yeah.
Schneepat's essay also has some really insightful case studies and real-world applications that really bring these technologies to life.
Let's start with the evaluations of these prototypes.
Right.
What have they found?
Well, these real-world tests are crucial. They help us understand how well these technologies actually work for people in their daily lives.
Right.
And Schneepat talks about how important it is to have feedback mechanisms so researchers can get direct input from users.
Okay.
That way they can refine their designs and make sure the technology is actually meeting people's needs.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then there are the educational applications, which are so important for creating a more inclusive society from the start.
Right. Schneepat talks about how more and more countries are adopting inclusive education policies and how AI can really support that.
Things like making learning materials accessible, large print, Braille, audio, and even using tactile learning methods. He also mentions a 2022 study by Mpansa and Bakale about online learning platforms for visually impaired students.
Okay.
It's really cool how technology is opening up these learning opportunities and helping people be more integrated into society.
Yeah, it's inspiring to hear about these user experiences and how these AI technologies are actually making a real difference in people's lives today.
It is, yeah. Schneepat talks about how people are using generative AI chatbots, kind of like ChatGPT, for things like navigating and finding information using voice commands. It's giving people a lot more independence in their everyday lives. These real-world examples really show the potential of this technology.
It's amazing to think about the impact it's having.
It is.
And ultimately, it all comes down to the broader impact of technology on accessibility.
Right, absolutely. Schneepat really drives home the point that even seemingly small advancements in technology can make huge improvements in the lives of people with visual impairments. Right. It can really improve their quality of life.
Yeah.
And those positive experiences are what fuel further innovation and help build a more inclusive world.
Absolutely.
He also highlights the important role of organizations that are dedicated to pushing assistive technology forward.
Well, this has been a truly fascinating deep dive into Jörg-Owe Schneepat's essay. It's amazing to see how AI is transforming assistive technologies for people with visual impairments, and the potential for greater independence, better accessibility, and truly personalized experiences is just incredible.
It really is. And while there are definitely challenges to overcome as this technology keeps developing, the future is incredibly exciting.
Yeah.
We're going to see AI becoming even more integrated into our world, and that's going to create more inclusive and accessible environments for everyone.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this thought, inspired by Schneepat. As AI becomes more and more a part of our everyday lives, think about how it might blur the lines of accessibility and create benefits that we can't even imagine yet.
Right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.